Can we slow down the effects of aging? Well, we're not talking today about aging like going grey or getting wrinkly or what moisturisers we should use. We're thinking about our main body, our muscles and our bones, and can we slow down the effects of aging on those? And the answer is yes, we can. So what are the effects of aging on our bodies? Well, the main two things that we're concerned about today is sarcopenia and osteopenia. Sarcopenia is a loss of muscle mass, and over the age of 40 to about 80 you're going to lose about 50% of your muscle mass if you don't do something about it. So if I'm pretty slim now, I'm going to be like a stick by the time I'm 80, and your bones, instead of being strong and solid, are going to end up being like a meringue or honeycomb, and very brittle indeed. So what can we do to prevent that happening, or at least slow it down and keep as much of our bone strength and our muscular size as we can? Well, the answer is resistance training. Our bodies need more than body weight stress on the body to force our bones to remain strong and force our muscles to keep their muscular size or maybe even gain muscle. Although doing weights is good for our cycling, and it can help our cycling power and speed, because it's developing our muscles, making our muscles more efficient, getting the muscles firing or the neurons firing at the same time, so those muscle fibers are doing as much force as they can. We're really thinking today about doing resistance training for the good of our bodies as we get older. So we're going to look at 5 of the main exercises, the compound movements we can do that are the biggest bang for your buck, if you like, and they affect more of our muscle mass than any other training. We're looking at 5 key exercises. The 5 key exercises are bench pressing, squats, deadlifts, shoulder presses or military presses, and rowing. Okay, so before we start any resistance training, make sure you go to a doctor or a physician, get checked up if you haven't done any resistance training before, just to make sure that you're okay and there's not going to be any problems if you undertake that. I'd advise going to a gym to start off with, just to make sure that you're doing the right techniques with weights. Obviously you can have injuries, and the easiest way is to use the wrong form when you're doing it. So just to check your form and maybe get started, you could always go start off in a gym to do that. Okay, so let's have a look at bench pressing. Okay, number 2, squats.
Okay, I'm recording.
Number 3, shoulder presses. Number 4, rows. And number 5, deadlifts. So the question is, how much should you do? How often? I'm not a strength and conditioning coach. I've just sort of self-taught myself over years and been doing it fairly regularly on and off most of my life. One suggestion is to do 5 lots of 5 reps, and that's building up to that. I'll put a link down below for that. That's one exercise routine where you're using those 5 main exercises. Obviously you can build in other exercises like curls for arms and biceps or triceps as well, but they're the main 5. and one routine is doing 5 sets of 5 reps, or gradually building up to that. How heavy should you go? Well, again, you know, if we're just doing it to maintain our strength and our bones, we don't need to go, you know, super heavy. Heavy is good. If you look again down below, I've linked to Trainer Road's coach Chad, where he's given a or gives a suggested weight amount you should do for cyclists to maintain an overall sort of body strength, and that gives you an idea of if you're, you know, whatever your body weight is, and how much you should be lifting. Another question is, how often should you be doing resistance training? And probably you're aiming for a couple of times a week if you can, 2 or 3 times, or maybe if you're doing a lot of endurance training at the moment, a lot of cycling or running, just once a week to maintain, but ideally a couple of times a week if you can. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that video, hope you found it useful. If you did, please like and subscribe. Any comments, please put them down below, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.